hear the phrase herniated disc or bulging disc, and I'm just going to explain what the difference is. The best way to explain it is thinking of the disc as a jelly donut. So we have jelly in the side of the donut, and if we were to smash one end of the donut, the jelly would fly out on the other side. And just like the jelly in the donut, we kind of have a jelly consistency inside the discs, and that's known as the annulus pulposus. And as you can see, that darker gray part in the disc is pressing out into the lighter gray aspect of the disc. We are primarily targeting a protrusion, so that's a disc bulge where it's still contained inside the disc. When we start to get into herniations, that's when that jelly part of the donut is actually escaped and is now not in the disc anymore and is causing some havoc. This exercise video is primarily focused towards people who just have disc bulges and not full-on disc herniations. Firstly, we're going to work on targeting our core to tighten and protect around the spine. So I'm just showing you what it's going to be looking like here. So we're going to be working in the front here, the transverse abdominis, but also the erectors in the back and how to contract that fully, because the diaphragm is part of it as well, but also the pelvic floor. So here's an image of the entire barrel-like muscles around the spine. We're going to work on contracting the pelvic floor first. So you want to think of disrupting the flow of pee. So you're going to try to squeeze it, cut off that flow of pee, and release. And again, squeeze the pelvic floor. You should still be able to breathe and relax. Squeeze and relax. Squeeze and relax. We have to reestablish those neural firing patterns. Now we're going to just bring our belly button towards our spine and then up a little bit, just a couple inches, in and then up. So practice on squeezing it back. And you should not be bringing your rib cage to that pointy part of your hip. Okay, so squeeze it back, bring it towards your spine. Also squeeze the pelvic floor, so we're doing 2 in a row now, and release. And again, squeeze pelvic floor, bring the belly button towards the spine, and release. Squeeze the floor, belly button towards the spine, and release. Squeeze both and release. Now we're going to work on that diaphragm, the muscle that helps us breathe. So just try to think that someone's about to punch you in the stomach and you have that initial bit of a kind of feeling. That is the amount of contraction that you want that still allows you, however, to breathe. So now we're going to be contracting all 3. So pelvic floor, belly button to spine, and protect your abdomen from being punched. And again, squeeze everything and relax. And squeeze all 3 and relax. Squeeze all 3, punch in the stomach, pelvic floor. Relax. Again, squeeze all 3, punch in the stomach, pelvic floor. Again, punch in the stomach, pelvic floor. Now the transverse abdominis is the muscle that you'll feel pop up into your hands doing these contractions. So let's move on to this slight bit of extension. So essentially we're sticking out our butt here. So really try to do this range. It's important to be able to move in this range and then just come back to center here. So I'm just going to show you. We don't want to be tucking and thrusting our pelvis forward here because we want to keep the jelly inside the donut. So we're just going to be squeezing everything, keeping our core nice and tight. So just as a reminder, make sure you're squeezing that pelvic floor, you're bringing the belly button towards your spine, and it's as if someone's punching you in the stomach. You're holding that nice and tight. So now extend, try to arch your back, keep your core nice and tight, and relax. When we arch the back, we're actually now thinking we're pressing one side of that jelly donut where the bulge is starting to come out, and it's starting to push that jelly back in. So really extend back again and relax. Keep the core tight the entire time. Squeeze everything back. Imagine you're pressing the jelly of the donut back inside the center. And release. Still core nice and tight. Core tight as you're extending, sticking out your butt. And release the arch. Still nice tight core. Again, squeeze everything in the back. And release. Now you're going to still keep a nice tight core, hands right at the base of the back of your hips, and you're just going to slightly extend back. Now you should have no pain and no discomfort with this, and you're contracting your core as I just demonstrated the entire time. So at no point in time are you relaxing, you're keeping this nice tight core. If this is too painful, you're just going to stick to the sticking out your butt and coming back to neutral, because this is a step up. This is more intense, which will help to press that bulge back in, but if it's painful, this is not going to do you any good. So just do what you can and really listen to your body, because you don't want to do something that's going to make this worse. Bulging discs and disc injuries in general are very, very vulnerable. And extend back. Keep that core nice and tight. Now for the next exercise, you need a chair with handles because we're not actually going to be sitting down. Sitting down isn't the best for disc bulges, so you want to try to avoid it as best as you can. So what we're doing here is we're just allowing our lower bodies to hang. We're creating what's known as a distraction, and that will help to suck the disc back in. Do you like my sound effect? And we're going to slowly recover, keep our core nice and tight, and extend back. Again, if this extension is too much, you just stick your pelvis forward so your butt is sticking out. Now just slowly lower yourself. You can step one foot back if it's too intense to do it with both legs, lowering you down. And you let your pelvis hang. Now slowly squeeze your glutes to straighten you back up. Take a step to equalize your foot out. Stretch back, everything nice and tight, pelvic floor, belly button to spine, everything's tight. Try with the other foot if that was still too hard. So you should be nice and stabilized. You should feel sturdy and secure. Let your pelvis drop. You're sucking the disc back in. Now use your legs, lean forward, squeeze everything up. And extend back or stick out your glutes. So everything we're doing is focused on bringing that jelly part of the donut back into the center of the donut. So let your hips hang here. If you need to, put another chair in front of you so that if you need to and you lose your balance, you have that security there. And extend back. Again, I'm extending back a little bit more than maybe you can. I do not have a disc injury at this time, although I have had in the past. So just do what you can. Allow yourself to hang. Now there should be no sharp pain, no numbness, tingling, or burning, so just do what you can. Slowly squeeze everything up. Squeeze your core, belly button to spine, pelvic floor, extend back, and recover. And reach down, bend your knees to bring you down. Keep your back up nice and straight. At no point in time is your back side bending. Is it rotating? Is it bending forward? Nothing. It's staying completely upright. Squeeze your glutes, squeeze everything. Come up. Hands on your hips. Stick out your butt or lean back. Make sure to keep your core nice and tight. And we're going to be doing this a few more times here. Things hang. Squeeze your glutes and your legs. Keep your back nice and straight. Core tight. Squeeze as you extend back. Imagine that jelly going back into the center of the donut. We'll go again. Slowly lower yourself. Let your hips hang. Breathe here. Squeeze everything up. Squeeze your legs. Keep your back nice and straight. Tight pelvic floor, belly button to spine. Reach back. And recover. Go one last time here. Really let everything hang. Squeeze everything up. Good. So these are the exercises that you should be doing every day. These aren't tough. This isn't a long video. It's all primarily focused on getting that jelly part of the donut back in the center. I know that was super repetitive throughout this entire video, but repetition is the key to learning, and you constantly have to remind your body and your muscles of what to do, especially when you're not used to these movements. Please subscribe to this channel if you'd like to be notified of any future videos that I release. And if this video was too easy for you or too challenging, please let me know in the comments below so that I can make a video that pertains to you. Thanks for all your support.